So guys, moving on, the next point I want to talk about is creating shapes in Illustrator without precision. Now, as you can see in our final logo, we have got this highlight. This highlight is an oval. Now, for you to create an oval, you don't need any type of precision. The reason as to why you can create an oval without precision is because you don't need the shift key when you're creating this oval. But for things like circles that have got precision, you will have to create them using the shift key. Now, I'm going to create an oval, and to create an oval, come right here in your tools panel, and the tool we need is actually hidden with other tools that can help you create shapes. Now, we're going to use the ellipsis tool, which is under the line segment tool. The line tool is actually under the curvature tool, and you can actually access the ellipsis tool by right-clicking on your line segment tool, and then this other dialog will appear that has these other shapes. Now click on the ellipsis tool, and with this we are going to create our oval shape. Now, to create an oval shape in Adobe Illustrator, we are going to first of all find a point on our canvas, so that use that point to create an oval. Now, in my case, I want to actually create it within this specific shape, so that I can show you that you can actually create your shapes within other shapes. Adobe Illustrator doesn't care as long as you finally organize your work. So guys, find a point, click, hold, and drag until you are comfortable with the oval shape you want to create. An oval shape is in form of an egg shape. So if at all you don't know what an oval shape is, please look at the eggs in your fridge so that you can get to know what an oval shape is. But regardless, this is what an oval shape looks like. And you can actually use this oval shape to do multiple things in your graphic design. For us, we're actually going to use it to highlight the petal that we're going to use in our graphic design. So guys, moving on, we've created our shape without precision because we didn't hold down the shift key while we were creating it. So guys, make sure that you come up with something like this at the end. Now, my next point is adding colors. Now guys, we've reached a point where we have to add colors in Adobe Illustrator. And these colors don't actually matter. You can actually use any colors that you want, but this will actually also depend on what you're trying to communicate. So guys, keep it at the back of your mind that color affects your designs, and it also affects your audience. So once you're selecting your colors, make sure that you select them wisely and that put some thought while selecting your colors. These colors actually communicate. Each color has got a message it's always giving out to its audience. So guys, moving on, I'm to show you how you can add color to these shapes. So the colors that we shall be using for these shapes are actually right here, and these are called the color codes that you can actually insert in your color picker, will reflect on these shapes. Now, this color code right here is for this outer shape, and then this color code it's for this inner shape. In order to add color to any of these shapes, we have to first of all select the outer shape, and then make sure that you have this copied somewhere. You can write it and then copy it, and then you can select your outer shape. Now, to add color to a specific shape, select it and then head over to your properties panel, and under appearance you will see this fill property. Or maybe you can actually look below your tools panel and you will see this fill and stroke. Now make sure that the fill is on top of the stroke because the stroke is actually below. So make sure that you have it selected and double click on this fill under your tools panel. So double click on it and then paste in that color and click OK. Now you can actually also play around with other colors depending on your needs, because this is where you'll find all the colors you will need in your project. This right here gives you all the colors you need. Just use this scroll to navigate within different shades of different colors. You will have a variety of colors to use in your project. So guys, make sure that you add the color I've given you and click OK. Now do the same thing for this other shape. Come right here, copy this color code I've given you and select the oval shape, and then paste that color right in here. So finally, we do have both of our shapes, and these are the color codes I have used in order to come up with these colors. Now, color codes are actually a representation of a specific color. There are very many representations of colors. You can also use RGB, you can also use CMYK. So guys, regardless, that is how we add color to our shapes in Adobe Illustrator. So guys, moving ahead, the next point is removing borders. Sometimes when you add color to an object in Adobe Illustrator, you would want to actually remove its border, because most individuals don't actually use the borders. They actually use plain shapes without the borders. So guys, in order to remove your borders, make sure that you have both of these shapes selected in order to remove the border. And once you select both of these shapes, come right here in the properties panel. Under appearance, you find this stroke property, and stroke property actually enables you to set a stroke color for your borders or boundaries of your shapes. Now in our case, we don't want any color, so that's why we're going to select none. None actually turns off the color of your specific object that you selected, and in this case we're using the stroke, so we are going to turn off the stroke of the specific shapes. If at all you have a background in web design or maybe web development, you will find out that in CSS, or the cascading style sheet that is used to help you create graphics for the web, they do use a CSS property of color none. And I think this is where they picked this inspiration from, whereby you can set a CSS property of color none. You can actually also do the same thing right here and set the boundary of these shapes to none. So guys, that is how you can actually turn off the boundaries of these specific shapes.